I have defended Derek Carr for a long time of the Raiders. I saw a story this morning where Derek Carr has not thrown an interception, not one in camp. And what really makes it remarkable is that he's got a new play caller, a new system, a new coach, a new coordinator, and a new star receiver. There's a bunch of moving parts. Not a single interception. And I think what has always hurt Derek Carr among fans, because I think he's top 10 quarterback in the league, most people don't have him anywhere near that, is that what is his it? Mahomes' crazy arm talent, Josh Allen's size, athletic ability, Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson, escapability, dynamic speed for Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow's cool, Tom Brady pre-snap, Aaron Rodgers plays sort of with a style and a glamour in his release. What is his it? And it's funny because in 2022, it's a really weird world we live in, and I think social media and is part of the problem. A big part of it is that you used to be able to give people like video proof or data or stats, and you would win the argument. But it doesn't work that way anymore. I mean, we have video of glaciers melting. We have a global warming issue, and people are like, that's politics. No, it's environmental. I don't care about the politics of it. We have glaciers melting. Here's proof. Here's data. Nobody wants to listen to it. So it's you can give people proof. I'll give you 3 data points on Derek Carr. He's indisputably an elite quarterback, and by the end of this rant, you still won't believe it. In the last 4 years, he has the highest completion percentage in the league of anybody still playing. Drew Brees was slightly higher. That's it. He's the most accurate thrower in the league. Okay? On the field today. In the last 8 years, he is the most reliable quarterback coming from behind in the fourth quarter. Leads the NFL in that. He has also faced the most crisis at head coach for a top quarterback. This will be his 6th in 9 years. So he's the most accurate, the best playing from behind late, and he's done it in chaos. They literally have different coaches. And my takeaway is his it, because you got to give fans an it. And I've said this about Alex English played in the NBA. He led the 80s in scoring, but Alex English didn't have an it. He wasn't vertical. He wasn't flashy. He was soft-spoken. He just hit mid-range jumpers. He did not make the NBA's top 75 list. He led the entire league in scoring in the 80s. Didn't make the list. What was his it? He had class and didn't miss 16-footers. But I think the it for Derek Carr is he overcomes things better than anybody in the league. Overcomes coaching chaos, overcomes a teammate killing a citizen in Las Vegas, driving 110 miles an hour under the influence. He overcomes weak drafts, a bad O-line, fourth quarter deficits, and constant fluctuation in the organization. And now the toughest division ever in the history of the NFL. There's never been a division, which is why the Raiders are the hardest team for me to predict in the NFL this year. Because I like so much about them. But there's never been a division in the history of the NFL that has Patrick Mahomes, Derek Carr, Justin Herbert, and Russell Wilson. And I don't think they have the defense to compete with the other 3. But if you're looking for his it is nobody overcomes things like Derek Carr. And that is an absolute talent. And I'll underscore it again. He has not thrown an interception with a new system, a new play caller, a new star receiver, a new coach. Not thrown an interception all camp. It's unbelievable. The Patriots and the Giants play tonight, and New England is not going to play Mac Jones. And I don't think there's a ton that you can get out of preseason. But, God, if there's a team that needs it, it's this team because they have a defensive coordinator as their play caller. They could probably use some live bullets here, some live play calling. But you do get to a point is we know that Belichick without Brady isn't the same coach. But it's not just losing Brady. It's losing Josh McDaniel and Dante Scarnecchia. New England had for years guys that had a feel for it. Scarnecchia, I've gone to YouTube and watched these Dante Scarnecchia YouTube videos when he talks to other coaches. He's just got a feel for offensive line. Hands, leverage, hips. Josh McDaniels, a brilliant offensive mind. Again, Derek Carr hasn't thrown an interception in camp. Josh McDaniels has a feel for it. And Brady, obviously, pre-snap is as good as anybody in the history of the league before the ball is snapped, moving pieces around. You start looking at New England now. They have no feel. They're becoming the Steelers. The difference is the Steelers at least draft the offense well. They're great at, they have drafted through the years tight ends, receivers, backs. New England can't draft it. I don't know if they can develop it, and they can't even buy it. Nick Wright was on our show yesterday talking about this, is they open up the checkbook, spent a record amount, and when that happens, teams usually get better if you buy a side of the ball. As Nick Wright had pointed out, New England can't even buy offense.
No other team in the league is spending $20 million on their tight ends. The Patriots are spending $30 million on theirs. There is one other team in football spending $50 million on their receivers and tight ends combined. The Patriots are spending $70 million on theirs. The Jaguars overpaid their guys, but Christian Kirk, Zay Jones, and Marvin Jones all have one thing in common. All of them would be the Patriots' number one receiving threat by a mile. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars will win as many or more games than New England Patriots this year.
And you can say, well, I mean, Colin, I think the four things that matter in offense: do you draft it, do you develop it, do you coach it, or can you buy it? Now that McDaniels, Dante Scarnecchia, Brady are gone, are the Patriots last in the league at all four? They don't draft it well. There's no proof they develop it brilliantly. They can't buy it well. And now they have their two top coaches gone. They have their OC and their line coach gone. So you could say, what about the Jags? Well, they drafted Allen Robinson. They've drafted some nice offensive people. What about the Giants? Oh, they drafted OBJ and Saquon Barkley before he got hurt. The Giants have drafted some really great offensive talent. And there's just teams in this league, Kansas City, San Francisco. The Vikings draft and develop offensive talent. The Bengals now. Like some teams, the Niners, the Rams, they've got a feel for offense. I think New England has none. I think all Brady, McDaniel, Scarnecchia left the building. They have no feel for it, and that's where the league is going. Albert Breer talked about New England's offensive struggles yesterday on the show.
I've heard that he's frustrated. I don't like the logic here. A big part of the logic for Bill, my understanding, and not bringing Bill O'Brien back from Alabama was that he was afraid he was going to lose him after the year. And you see Bill, and now he's in his 70s, and is this just because he doesn't want to go through a lot of change over the next few years? That piece of it's really hard for me because if that's why you're making decisions with something so critical as the development of your second-year quarterback on the line, I'd have an issue with it. So if it wasn't Bill Belichick doing this, I think a lot of people would be very, very critical of what's going on there.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.